Looking at the day on the markets today, in line with Wall Street overnight and then Asian markets performance this morning, the JSE trading in the green. How much reprieve do you see the market actually being afforded, though, with so many push and pull factors at play on a global basis right now?
Alishia, we have seen our markets very volatile. We had expected our markets to open flat, if not positive, yesterday, following stronger international markets, and obviously we saw us down over 1%. Markets have really been overdone, so we did expect a nice little run today. We have that, but we have seen a bit of a pullback, so investors still quite cautious as to where the market is really going. We are seeing continued issues out of Greece, and obviously with the Libyan scenario still not really resolved, putting pressures on our markets.
So volatility said to be the name of the game for a while yet?
Correct, Alishia. We have been speculating that we're seeing a lot of foreign selling on our local equities, and that really has been putting pressure on our local equities, even though we have seen global markets really performing better than we have, and we're speculating at this moment that we hope that it's pretty much over at the moment, and that we're going to be turning positive, at least try and recover our losses from yesterday and see us run a little bit harder.
Of course, we're seeing the commodity price segment having come under pressure yesterday, seeing some pressure lifted today, and many saying a mere element of bargain hunting that seems to be at play at this stage. How are you viewing the resources space?
Correct, Alishia. If we and we are seeing, obviously, with oil coming back down, the speculation that obviously that's going to pull off some pressure on global growth, and we are seeing all our commodities really moving strong, obviously with oil coming back down. It is obviously good for us, and we're hopefully going to see a turnaround in that space, and see them really perform to the levels of last year.
Well, one of the companies that oil price has held in good stead is Sasol, the petrochemical group, announcing that it's now hedged about 30% of its South African synthetic fuels and West African crude output against a fall in oil prices. What have you made of that move? Because it says that it should offer downside protection should oil prices fall below $85 a barrel.
Well, Alishia, I think it's a cautious move from Sasol. They have hedged, they've done a zero-cost collar there, and really are protecting themselves on the downside. And we are seeing that obviously with the US coming out and other countries and OPEC coming out to say they're going to be increasing supply should there be a shortage coming out of the Middle East. So very cautious on their side. We're going to see, I think we're going to see oil above $100. We'll have to see how it pans out for them, but just very cautious from Sasol's side.
Of course, on North African tensions having an impact on the oil price is just one factor to consider. It's also impacting sentiment around companies operating in the region, and MTN is one of those companies. It was out with numbers today, posting, saying adjusted headline earnings per share, excluding its Zakela transaction, was up 20.5%. The market seems to be liking that news. Your perspective on the numbers?
Sorry, Alishia, very good numbers out of MTN. They really are growing in the data space, and we see that up 33% in terms of revenues, and that we're going to see growing once their data line has been finalized towards the end of the year. In terms of the exposure into the Middle East, they really have gone ahead and have been aggressive in that space. We've seen their market share growing in Iran, and they're busy with getting a new license from Syria that's going to cost them approximately about $600 million. So they really are growing in that space, even though we are continuing to see that area really not being settled at the moment, but they are seeing growth.
The question, Yolanda, is where next for MTN right now? Because of course it's been on the strong growth trajectory, and many not too sure as to what's going to prompt that next leg of the growth curve.
Correct, Helene. I think they still have some space to grow into Africa. Where from Africa, I'm not sure. We can only speculate. Maybe South America from here, but they really need to get their footprint better down. And once they have gotten their license from Syria, how they're really going to roll out in Syria and how they're actually going to get the benefit. And hopefully, if the whole Middle East scenario does settle, we did see them really growing their subscriber base in South Africa for about 2 million users. So they really are growing, and they're really going in the right direction. But from outside of Africa, not sure at this moment, Alishia.